Hey, have you heard of this new Grand Theft Auto game? Apparently it's a big deal or something. I'm being silly. Of course you've heard of it. Your 90-year-old grandma has heard of it. GTA 6 is quickly becoming one of the largest cultural events of the decade. I can't think of a game release, or even a movie release in recent memory that has had this amount of buzz. And here I am as well, part of the problem. Does it slightly annoy me that this game is sucking up all of the oxygen and delaying all the other games around it? Yes it does. Do we have to talk about it anyway? Yeah, we do, because I'm scared. As of recording, last week pre-orders opened for GTA 6, along with a couple of important news stories. The game's base price is $80, which is an eye-watering $110 Canadian for me, a $20 increase on normal AAA prices, and the game will have no physical copy. If you buy the box at GameStop, then you're just buying a download code for the game. Let's go through these in order, because $80 is kind of a misdirection. As Oxboxtra pointed out in their coverage of this news, the $80 version really exists as marketing for the $100 version. The Ultimate Edition comes with a bunch of different stores that will be closed if you don't have the Ultimate Edition, which, yes, means they're just cosmetic, but you just know it's going to be so annoying driving around the map and seeing these stores and there's going to be a big icon and a prompt to buy the Ultimate Edition. It's going to be really annoying. Because, to be clear, this strategy works, at least according to IGN's pollings, where over half of the respondents indicated that they would be going the whole hundo. In marketing, it's hard to beat good old FOMO. And I'm sure they can come up with a justification for this price. I'm sure the game will be absolutely massive by AAA standards, just like Red Dead Redemption 2 was. And I'm sure the game will be good. Rockstar has a good track record. But none of that matters, because the real justification for this price tag is because they can get away with it, right? We don't have to argue this. Realistically, they could sell this game for $20 and still make their money back. The hype is through the roof, and if GTA 5 is the model, then most of that money will come from GTA Online anyway, which according to some recent leaks averages about $1 million a day in revenue even 10 years after release. They do not need to sell this game for $100. But they can, so they will. It's just exploitation, and it's not surprising, it's capitalism. I've seen a lot of, inflation, games prices are going up all the time. Arguments that essentially remove Rockstar's agency in this choice and disperse it onto some vague cultural force. But that's crap. Nobody is forcing them to sell at this price. They're selling at this price because some prick named Strauss wants another yacht. But personally, this price scares me. Speaking in CAD, because that's how my brain works, $90 is already at the very tippity top of what I can possibly justify spending on a game, and that's already with a lot of hand-wringing and humming and hawing. $140 is a lot of groceries. To get real for a minute, my primary games console right now is an Xbox Series S, and if the old girl breaks, I am completely fucked. I legitimately could not afford to get into games right now if I was just starting out, and that's depressing. Because we all know this doesn't stop with GTA 6. We all know that every other company is looking in on this and figuring out what price increase they can get away with on their next big release. I am being priced out of this medium, and that scares me. I suppose there's always the second-hand market. Oh wait, game publishers hate physical media. They've always hated it, they've always been trying to kill it, and GTA 6 having no disc is another big move towards this. Why do they hate it? Because, from a business perspective, not having a physical release is nothing but upsides for Rockstar. No physical release means that Rockstar has total control over the game and how you play it. They control the modding scene, they control updates and version history. They control all. There is no base version of the game that they cannot change. More importantly, nobody can sell GTA 6 without Rockstar getting its cut. This completely destroys the second-hand market. Something which game studios have been desperate to do since the second-hand market started, but this is the most high-profile example in recent memory. The second-hand market has always been an unintended consequence of physical media. Once something is out there in the world, you no longer have any control over it. If someone wants to sell their copy, They're allowed to sell it. It's legally their property. Digital media has no control. You're not really buying a copy of the game. You're buying a license to access the game, and that license can, and sometimes will be, rescinded. Physical media has been dying for years because digital media has a lot of advantages. You don't have to leave your house to go and get it. Producing physical copies is more expensive for developers. Like the price, GTA 6 opens the floodgates. It's the proof that you can sell gangbusters in a AAA release without making a physical copy. And absolutely none of the major game studios are going to be the champions of physical media unless they can in some way benefit from it. And lo and behold, as I was editing this video, Sony announced that it will be ending support for discs entirely starting in 2028. That didn't take long at all. Watching the reaction to this news has been disheartening. It's been met with a bit of grumbling, a bit of complaining, and not much else. Early estimates show that GTA 6, despite having a budget somewhere in the billions, has probably already made most of its money back on pre-orders alone, despite the fact that they haven't even shown any gameplay yet. And of course it has. It's GTA 6. This was a well-calculated risk. They've pushed these things just enough that they know they can maintain the maximum amount of customers with the least amount of damage to their reputation. It's just doing good capitalism, and they are hardly alone in this. We deal with this on pretty much every new release. The other day I was talking with my friend Internet Couch about 007 First Light, a game that we both enjoyed, although he had a fair few more problems with it than I did. One issue that he brought up, which I do agree with though, is the game's very annoying always online requirements, which is a pretty pointless requirement in a completely single player game. The game has this little pop-up that comes up that says that being online gives you the full richness of the experience, but that's bullshit. There is absolutely nothing in the single-player experience that requires or benefits from an online connection. No, the real reason this is in there is for DRM. It's a constant check that you're not pirating the game or modding it or doing anything that they don't want you to do. It's a very standard trick in modern games and it's always annoying. But here's the thing. I just made a 40-minute critique of First Light, and I didn't bring this up once. The thought to bring it up didn't even occur to me, because I just love the game too much to care. And that's the trap. As Couch observed, if a game is good enough, then it can get away with adding obviously bad things. And this is true across the industry. GTA 6 is just the most recent example. I think everyone has their own personal line of game quality versus tolerance for bullshit. Loot boxes suck, they're a blight on the industry, and they're gambling for children. But Overwatch is really fun, so Minecraft turning what used to be free community-driven mods and texture packs into a monetized Minecoin currency hellscape is really awful and depressing. But it's still Minecraft. GTA 6 is too expensive and it's trying to kill physical media, and you know that when GTA Online comes out it's going to be absolutely full of microtransactions. But it's still GTA 6. It's probably going to be really good, and it's a cultural event that everyone wants to be a part of. This is what these companies are counting on. They are always pushing to see what they can get away with. And over the years they've gotten away with a lot of stuff because people have decided that the games are good enough to tolerate it. It's not our fault. People are not perfect. Sometimes you just want a cool new game, and that's not a crime. The people who've gone out and pre-ordered GTA 6 are not sheep. They are not easily filled mooks. It is not a crime to enjoy these games or to want GTA 6. So often the counter-argument to the growing bullshit is to vote with your wallet. If you don't like the bullshit, don't spend money on it. But that doesn't work. It's never worked. To quote author and digital rights activist Cory Doctorow, you cannot vote with your wallet. Or rather, you can, but you will lose that vote. Wallet votes always go to the people with the thickest wallets, and statistically, that is not you. Voting with your wallet is playing the capitalist game, and in that game, you will never have more power than Strauss Zelnick. You don't beat them at their own game, you change the game. The reason that Strauss can come to your house, punch you in the face, and claim your pre-owned copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 is not because he would have a moral problem with that, it's because it's illegal. Betting on a businessman to stop doing the absolute most greedy thing possible in any given situation is betting on a pig to take flight. It's not gonna happen. You don't fix this problem with personal consumer practice. You beat it with regulation and stronger consumer rights protections. Hypercapitalists have spent the better part of a century spreading the idea that collective action and regulation are the devil incarnate. And of course they have, because that's the one thing that can keep them in check. The reason that these protections are so lacking in the digital age is not that these protections are impossible, but that the business class has successfully convinced everyone that they don't need these protections. Like Strauss trying to convince his workers back in 2019 that they don't need a union. What could they possibly need a union for? Well, we do need the protections, and it's time to start fighting for them. Consumer rights organisations like Stop Killing Games are a good place to start, or supporting unions within the industries. Lord knows Strauss won't. Good luck with the trial, buddy. I am scared of GTA 6. I'm scared of what it represents for the future of games. But there are two responses to fear: flight or fight. And personally, I'm ready to throw down. And if you're ready to do the same, just make sure that you're fighting the right people. I know I've cultivated a super cool audience of contrarians who don't even care about GTA 6, and I love and appreciate all of you, but that's not really the point. Part of the reason that voting with your wallet is a hard idea to kill is because it's an easier fight, shaming your peers rather than true systemic change. But it's a false fight. The people buying GTA 6 are not the problem, they are the victims. Their passion for the medium is being exploited. They are your allies, not your enemies. We all have different tolerances for the bullshit, but I assure you, we are all united by our shared hatred of the bullshit. And are any of us really happy with giving Strauss the last laugh? Thank you for watching, and a very special thank you to my wonderful patrons for your continued support. If you'd like to see your name up here, or just support the things that I do, then please consider signing up. It would mean a lot to me, as well as a like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. I don't know if you can tell yet, but it's very warm in here. It's like 33 degrees outside, and I had to turn the aircon off for better audio, and I'm melting. Anyway, also, you should go check out Couch. He has a very good video on Assassin's Creed 3 that's very different from mine, but that's good, because variety is the spice of life. And if you're super dedicated to staying on this channel, then I suppose you can go watch that 007 First Light critique that I mentioned earlier. I wish I had more money.